this is Vicki Malta, and this is You and Your Mental Wellness. It's a show we put on once a month. And tonight I have a guest. His name is Johnny Santos, and he's an advocate and motivational speaker. His story is really inspirational. He came from a very dark place, and he was able to turn his life around and help other people along the way, and it just shows that people can change, and they can recover, and they can live meaningful lives. And so the first thing I wanted to ask you, Johnny, just a little bit about your background. And so you grew up in Hartford, right?
Yes, I grew up in Hartford.
Okay, and then so what was that like for you? Like, when did you start maybe getting involved with crime and things like that? Were you young, pretty young?
I was young. I started, getting in the drug game when I was 11 years old. I started smoking marijuana. And from there it progressed. At 15 years old, I did my first bag of heroin. From there I was hooked
Right.
to drugs. When I was 19 years old, I went to prison for some crimes that I committed, some armed robberies and stuff. And I went to jail, and while I was in jail, I had to take a test because it was mandatory for you to take an AIDS test, an HIV test at the time. And I did take a AIDS test, and it came back that I was HIV positive, and I was 19 years old.
How did you deal with that? Did you know other people that had it, or?
I really didn't know anybody that had it, but I knew from looking at the media that a lot of people were dying from it. And I was diagnosed way back in '87. So there's a lot of people that were dying. I thought I was going to die. I said that if I was going to go, I was going to take a lot of people with me. And that's the attitude that I had. I was real angry, real rebellious. I really didn't care about myself, so I didn't care about others. And like I said, I wasn't educated or anything on it. But in the meanwhile, while I was still HIV positive, I joined the gang. And
in the prison?
Yes, it wasn't a gang. It was an organization called the Latin Kings. And while I was incarcerated, I did a lot of things. Was involved in riots, and
Did you do these things inside the prison, or once you were released, were you still involved with the Latin Kings, or?
Yes, I was.
Okay.
I went to, I brought it out to the streets, and I was a member in the streets, but then I got incarcerated again. And this time I ended up doing a lot of time in jail. I ended up doing 16 years in prison.
What was that like for you? How were you able to survive in that kind of a setting and kind of atmosphere? I mean, what kept you going, and what gave you hope?
Well, I really didn't care what happened to me. In 1993, I got indicted to the King trial, and here in New Haven. And while I was going to the King trial, I really started looking back at my life and saying, this is it, Am I going to be in prison for the rest of my life, And what I did was, I had to make a choice, was I going to stay down, or I was going to get up and fight, And I decided to fight. I got educated on HIV, and I was in the gang for 15 years. I left the gang. I started to go to meetings, to AA meetings, NA meetings.
And this was what year was this? This was when you after the 15 years after you were released
Yes.
from prison. So what year was this that you got out of prison?
I got out in 2011.
Oh, okay.
I was released from prison. I ended up going to a program called the Sierra House.
And that was in New Haven.
That was in New Haven.
Did you want to live? Did you want to move to New Haven? Is that what you wanted to do, or?
I know I needed to change the environment. You know, in recovery they tell you, you know, you need to change people, places, and things. And that's one of the things I did was change my environment. Even though, you know, you find drugs anywhere you go.
Right.
You know, being an addict, you'll find it anywhere. You know, but
And what's the Sierra Club? What? It's a group home for.
the Sierra House is a program for criminal justice people and mental health, people who has mental illness. And I went there. I got myself in trouble again, and instead of me going to jail, they got me into the program. And the judge ordered me to go to this program called the Sierra House. And from there, that's when I started to change my life around.
So was the Sierra House like a permanent place to live? Like,
It was just a place where you go and you get help for your mental illness, and you know, they refer you to places, you know, like CRESS. They referred me to CRESS, and I went to this program called CRESS, and there you go to groups and meetings and stuff like that, and you
Why
do.
don't you explain a little bit to the public about what CREST is and how it's connected to Fellowship Place and what Fellowship Place is? And
I don't know how really it's related, you know. I know CRESS is CRESS, and I did CRESS, and you know, Fellowship is something different. You know,
Fellowship is a social club.
Yes,
for,
it is.
For people
it's a social
with
club for people
illness.
with mental illness.
Yeah.
CRESS is people with criminal justice system that are in the criminal justice system and also have mental illness.
And it's a separate part of Fellowship. They have their own room in there, and
Yes, it's
and they hold
separated.
different group. Do they hold groups like NA or AA or?
Yeah, well, they do a lot of recovery. Yes, they do. They was the ones that referred me to a program called Citizens. When I joined Citizens and I got that referral to Citizens, I first walked in, I was like, you know, what is this place, you know? They told you that you had to do this thing called What's Up. And I didn't know what What's Up was until they explained it to me, and they told me you have to tell them, you know, what's up with you and what's going on with you, you know, if you want to share a little bit about, you know, how your day went or how your week went. There in Citizens, I really learned how to ease my way into society, because when they release you from prison, a lot of times they just release you and you go back to what you know, and that's the drugs, the life of crime.
Right. It's a
repeated, yes. And I had to break the chain.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Because I didn't want to go back to jail.
Right.
You know? I didn't want to die in jail, you know?
Well, that must have taken a lot of courage for you to do that, you know, to make a change like that, you know, and decide that you wanted your life to go a different way.
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, I was tired of surviving. I wanted to live, and I wanted to be a protected member of society. So I used Citizens to my benefit, and everything they had to offer. While I was in Citizens, we had a guest. His name was Jordan. He was a student from Yale, and he was doing a project that he had to do for school, and he came into Citizens, and you know, he
It's called Citizens Project,
yes, it's called
and
Citizen Project.
and it was did Yale start it, like start the project, or Citizens Project? Because you said that there was a person, Michael Rowe, and he's from Yale. So was he the one that started?
Yes, he started it around, if I'm not mistaken, 15 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, he's been doing a great job at trying to make Citizens grow.
Mm-hmm.
Different ideas, where to take it, you know, the 5 R's, you know, the 5 R's are rights, your roles, responsibilities, relationships, and resources.
So
And that's what I got when I got to Citizens.
So these are what constitute what being a citizen of the United States is.
Yeah,
is
it's
about.
a citizens, being part of the community,
Mm-hmm.
being a protective member of society.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing I wanted to do. I didn't want to live my life the way I was living my life.
Right, right.
So I had to change. While this kid, Jordan, came, and I had to go to a school and speak to kids. I got the opportunity. I was doing it with a police officer, and I was going around schools and talking to kids. But this one was very special. This one was something that I did on my own,
Mm-hmm.
that I accomplished on my own through Citizens. So
was
I was
it
able.
scary to do that?
Yeah,
For you
it
to
was.
go out and speak in front of do public speaking and speak to people and.
Yeah, it was scary.
But you know, it sounds like you have a lot of courage. You know, the way that you wanted to change your life around and give back and show other people that that's not the road that you took was not the road that worked for you, and don't go down that road. And you know, I think that takes a lot of courage.
Yes. Citizens saved my life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a person who's very dear to me, and her name is Patty Benedict, and she oversees the Citizens Project.
Mm-hmm.
And she, I used to always say, you know, I don't know how to live in society. And she came up to me one day and said, you know what? You can live in society.
Mm-hmm.
All you got to do is go out there and live it. And that's one thing that I did. Jordan followed me to the school, and he did a documentary on me. And I spoke in front of 100 kids.
Wow.
And it was a life experience.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was an honor and a privilege to be able to give of myself to the kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
So, so you want to keep doing this, right? You told me that you want to. You've done it about 2 or 3 times in schools so
Yes.
far, and you want to bring Citizens Project into the prisons. And do you want to do motivational speaking too in the prisons, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna do some motivated speaking. I think that that's a way of me giving back of myself, because you know, I'm in recovery,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm in this process called recovery. And in recovery, you could only keep what you have by giving it away.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I will always keep it, because I will always give it away. I'm not afraid to go out and be part of society no more. You know, somebody once came and told me, you know, stop waiting for somebody to change your community and do it yourself. You know, and that made a lot of sense.
Right.
You know,
Right.
Citizens is a project that has the right resources. They will guide you in the right direction. You know, Citizens is what you put into it, just like life.
Right.
You know.
Now, is it an indefinite program, or is it like for 6 months or for a year? Or?
I think it's for 4 months, 3 months,
Okay.
and then you graduate. They go to City Hall, and they graduate in City Hall. When I graduated, I had the opportunity to meet Mayor Hart.
Oh, wow. That's
She
great.
attended. She wasn't the mayor yet, but she attended Citizens, and that was a humbling experience. You know, Citizens Project is about going out to the community and, you know, cleaning your community and getting the community involved. You know, it's our kids that are out there. It's our grandchildren that are out there in the community. You know, the chain has to break somewhere. You know, and just like the lady told me, stop waiting for somebody to change your community. Now I say to the people out there, stop waiting for somebody to change your community and do it yourself. You know, I have a lot of ideas for Citizens. We are trying to bring it into prisons. We're going to try something small first. We're going to try to bring it into the schools, and we're going to try to bring it into places where they have mental illness and substance abuse. It's very important for people to know that Citizens is open to anybody.
So to qualify for Citizens, you have to have incarceration and a mental illness.
Yeah, criminal justice system, whether you're on parole, probation, and have a mental illness. Mental illness was one thing that I had to come to terms with, because I did not know that I had a mental illness till I was 30s, in my 30s. And, you know, I learn every day something about myself. You know, I also take inventory of myself every day. You know, that I give enough of myself, that I give enough feedback, you know, that I help someone today. You know, that's how I consistently live my life. And that's what keeps me alive, is by me giving back to the community. And, you know, Michael Rowe is a tremendous man. And
he's the founder.
Yeah, he's the founder. And he's opened the doors for me, you know. He let me in, you know, as a peer, so to speak, and to go in there and help him pull the sled, you know, to where he wants it to go, you know. And it's an honor and a privilege for me to even been asked to sit down at the table.
Right,
You
right.
know?
So if people want to be involved with the Citizens Project, who would they contact, and what's the contact information about that?
The contact information is going to be put on the screen.
Okay.
Patty Benedict is the oversee of Citizens. So contact her. I don't know if I gave you the number, but I gave you the number. If
It'll be on the screen.
Okay.
At the end of the show.
Yeah, well, anybody can
credits.
call her. And remember, you got to have a criminal justice system, be in the criminal justice system, and have a mental illness. You also receive $10, so you can put in your pocket. Citizens is where you go and you share about your experiences. You
Right.
know? you go in there and they give you feedback. You know, if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, you're gonna get that feedback.
Is
You
that
know?
part of what's up?
Yes, that's what part of what's up.
Why don't you explain that a little bit more again? I know you brought it up a
Okay.
little earlier. But
What's up is it's where you go and you tell people how your day went. You know, the people that are in the group, and you know, you tell them what's up. You know, you tell them you know, how your day went. You know, how your week went. Did you have a bad day? Did somebody you know, rubbed you the wrong way, so to speak? You know, it's a safe haven.
Mhm.
It's
Is it confidential? Like
yes, confidentiality is very important. They practice that a lot. You
so
know?
you trust each other? Do you feel like you really trust each other?
Yes,
Mhm.
yes. When I graduated, I had a lot of stuff to say, you know, about my HIV and about stuff, and you know, what says in the room stays in the room. You know, confidentiality is very, very important, and citizens do not accept people who are gonna go gossip
Right.
about other people and throw their business out there. You know, we are family.
Right.
You know, we count on one each other. You know,
Right.
we count on each other for feedback. You know, because maybe what I tell them or they tell me could save my life that day. Maybe I'm thinking about suicide. Maybe I'm thinking about going back to use drugs. You know, maybe I want to go rob the liquor store down the street. You know, these are the stuff that you get feedback on.
Right.
You know, if
'Cause
that's
some-
the way you feel.
Because sometimes it's hard for us to be able to see inside ourselves if we're doing something right or wrong, and to get the feedback from somebody else, objective, somebody that you trust, you know, it probably really builds a bond. I mean, are you still? I know you graduated, but are you still in touch with some of these people from the citizens?
I see a lot of them in the community. A lot of them are doing well. Some of them are not doing well, but they still trying to survive and still fighting.
Right.
You know, we all fight every day. You know, let me use me as an example. I fight every day to stay clean. I fight every day to be a productive member of society. You know, I take this recovery thing serious. You know,
Right.
it's a life or death situation for me, because I could have another run, but I might not have another recovery.
Right. Right.
Meaning I can go out on a bench and maybe not even make it back.
Right.
You know, that's why I take this recovery serious. You know, citizens saved my life, like I said. You know, they helped me ease into society. They helped me bring myself to a school and speak to kids. You know, that was unbelievable.
Yeah, that's amazing.
For me to be able to give back to my community, that's unbelievable.
Right.
You
It
know,
is.
that was one of my dreams, and it came true, and it was because of citizens. You know.
So, I know we only have a couple of minutes left, but I just wanted to ask you, what are some of the things that you want to do in the future? I mean, now that you have built, you know, so much up for yourself, and I think you said that. Well, one thing you said you're doing. The main thing is the Citizens Project is what you really want to focus on.
Yes.
And but you said that you're also on the side, you're running for president of Fellowship Place, which is a social club for people with mental illness. And how did you get interested in wanting to do that?
Well, Fellowship is also a safe haven. You can go there and eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. if you're bored on the streets, you could go there. You know, you don't want to be bothered by nobody, you go there. You know, you have a family there. You know, you don't have to be home alone. You know, and it's a lot of things that I want to change in fellowship. That's why I decided to run for president. I think that I could take it and bring it to society.
Well, I think that you have a lot of natural leadership abilities, and you've shown a lot of courage and strength, and it's a lot of hard work. It's not easy at all to try to change your life, and it sounds like you're really a fighter, and you know, I'm just very glad that you're on my show, and you know, the people see that people can get better and they can recover, and so are there any last things you want to say? We have 2 minutes left. So
Yes,
I'm trying to think of this.
I want to say to people out there, if no one told you that they love you today, you know, there's a guy named Johnny Santos who loves you. And
That's nice.
if you want help and you want to talk to somebody who's going through a lot, you can call me.
Mm-hmm.
And my number is 203-584-3033. Don't be afraid to call me. Call me at any time, because that's what I'm here for, is to serve and give back to my community. And like I always say, with that I pass.
That's great. That's great. Well, we have about 1 minute left, so I just want to say, you know, thank you very much for coming on the show, and I respect you very much for what you've done to turn your life around, and you know, I hope the viewers out there get some feeling of hope, you know, that people can recover and people can get better, that it takes a lot of hard work. It's an inside job. You know, you can't expect somebody else to do it for you, but you know,
It's been
it's
an honor.
possible.
It's been an honor and a privilege, Vicki, for having me on your show.
Thank you, Johnny.
Thank you for allowing me to take things into society.
Thanks, Johnny.
Because that's what Citizens is about.
Okay, great. So we're going to have to stop for tonight. So we'll just see you next month, and I want to thank Josh Kelly for doing production. I want to thank Johnny for being a guest. I want to thank Madison Cable Access Group and Antoinette for doing distribution, and Abigail for running Madison Cable Access Group, and for all the people out there. You know, I hope you got something out of this. There is hope, and hope is possible. So thank you.